Markets are shaky right now, and even if the gold price is not at the 5,000, 5,500 level anymore as it used to be, we're still around the 4,000 US dollar level. And a company that wanted to be in production, let's say a couple of years ago, was dreaming on a gold price above 2,000 or 3,000. And now we see the 4,000 and everybody is a little bit scared and doesn't know what to do or what to invest in. But I think this is the right moment where everybody is scared to have a look at exciting companies. And today I'm talking to Gordon Robb. He is the CEO of ESGold. It's a pre-gold production company. It wants to go into production towards the end of this year. Fully disclaimer, I own stocks of the company. We also work with Gordon in the German market. First of all, Gordon, thanks for your time. I'm happy to listen to the newest updates, not just as an interviewer, but also as an investor. Great to have you here.
Yeah, great to see you, man.
So, Gordon, give us just a quick overview for everybody who's not so familiar with the story right now. What are we aiming for, and what is your goal for the next, let's say, 6 to 12 months?
Yes, ESGold is a little different, where we are focused on near-term production through tailings reprocessing from the past-producing Montalban project, which will fund further exploration and development. It's a non-dilutive model that we've come up with, taking advantage of material sitting on surface, toxic material that's plagued the town of Montalban that desperately needs to be cleaned up. We are currently building our facility to process these tailings, generating cash flow so that we can further explore the area. We are fully permitted and fully funded, targeting operations at the end of the year. And I can confidently say things are moving well. Things are moving fast. We're in a very exciting time with the company's history right now.
Perfect. And when I take a position in a company, for an example, I'm always trying to understand what is the goal here for myself as an investor, right? And I think what makes you a little bit more unique is you're not just waiting for the next drill hole to come out and be good or be not good. You are about to drill the project and extend your resource, but B, also, as you just said, want to go into production. The best case would be towards the end of this year. But to go into production, obviously, you have to get all the equipment. You have to get everything in place. And we just had this, let's say, war period. It seems like the war is over. Nobody knows, right? But the uncertainty certainly cooled off. So give us an idea. Is everything arriving on time? Where are we in terms of timing? And what is your expectation here?
Just to touch on the other point that you said, right, is like, what's the goal here? What the goal here is to build a business. Is I think the core of this industry has forgotten the goal of mining is to turn rocks into dollars. So we're aiming to do that as quickly and efficiently as possible by taking advantage of pre-mined material that is sitting on surface. So in order to do that, we had to build our facility. We're the building first. We've designed a Merrill-Crowe system, gravity separation to remove the mica. And we have been in the procurement process now for the last 7-8 months of ordering all the equipment that we've needed, having it arrive, starting the installation. We're still waiting on some big pieces. We're hoping those will ship here in the next week. The timeline's really on right now, but we've also received some very important pieces of equipment. So like our Doré furnace just arrived. That was a big piece of equipment that we were very much looking forward to, because in order to finish the gold room, that needs to go in, then the fire retardant needs to go around it. There's a lot of pieces that need to go into place first so that you can build around them. So it's a lot of logistics happening right now. Timelines are looking great on the building side, on the delivery and the installation, securing our tanks, having everything put in place, installed, getting mezzanines up, doing the finishing work in the offices and the bathrooms. It is a very busy site right now, and from where we were 2 years ago, even a year ago, this has turned into from a dream into very much a reality.
No, that's very good. And that's what you need to hear as an investor. I mean, obviously, we have seen a little bit, as I said in the beginning, of a shaky time in the whole, let's say, gold and mining industry in particular. All the junior gold stocks have been sold off pretty sharply. And now you're sitting at around, I think, 50 million Canadian dollar market cap. And as we said in the beginning, you want to be a producing company by next year. And as we all know from the Lassonde curve, usually, right, when you get into production, you get a little bit of a re-rating from the market because having gold in the ground or like you above ground is nice, but actually making money out of it is even better for investors. So give us an idea, how much money are you planning to make? And also, I think the good thing is you have the mine then already in place with the cash flow. You wanted to do exploration. And if you find more gold, you don't have to build another mine for that, which is usually the case for an exploration company. You can probably also use the existing facility. So give us an idea about what's up for the next years and what would be the ideal scenario for the investors.
Absolutely, right. And like you said at the very beginning, as gold's went from five, we're not at the $5,000 range anymore. We're between 4,000. I think we're at 4,300 today. It's the fact that juniors have sold off has just created an unbelievable opportunity. Is we were talking about this earlier, but the famous adage in junior mining was always sell in May and go away. With the war and energy prices jumping, it was essentially sell in March and go away. So we've seen this very apathetic last few months. It may continue through the summer, and for the long-term investor looking at this space, that's a gift. Is there are a lot of companies, ESGold included, that has presented an unbelievable buying opportunity at depressed prices because of apathy. So anybody looking to get into this space, there is no better time than now because we are on sale. Everyone is on sale. Now, when you step into the cash flow side, like you said, with gold at $5,000 down to what, 4,200, there's a compliant way of answering the cash flow question, and then there's the realistic way of answering the cash flow question. For compliance sake, I'll answer on the compliant front. So we did our PEA in August of last year. We updated our PEA using $2,900 gold and $32 silver. Now, anybody paying attention today would know that those prices are significantly higher. But using those prices, we saw a $45.5 million MPV using a 5% discount, showing $15 million a year in free cash flow. So with 1 million metric tons on surface, we are permitted up to 1,000 tons a day, 300,000 tons a year, just on the tailings that we've measured. And we know that there's more around that we're able to produce and to process. We're looking at $15 million a year using $2,900 gold and $32 silver. So when you use today's numbers, I mean, that number obviously jumps up dramatically, but it puts us in a very comfortable cash position to be able to reinvest into the company. So it's cash flow first, discovery second, because we ran geophysics on the area. This is a past producing mine that was never properly explored. It was zinc lead with a silver byproduct gold in the early 1900s. From 83 to 90, they focused more on the gold system. We know it's very misunderstood, but the deepest drill hole was done at 200 meters at depth, and it was a production drill hole. There's been no step-out drilling. So this is a very exciting exploration property. There are plenty of exploration companies that would look at this analog and build an exploration company off that. We're just backed by production. We're focused on funding that exploration ourselves, so we don't need to constantly dilute year over year over year as we continue to build out this asset.
So it's a little bit of a unique situation, a little bit of a unique story. And as we said, the Lassonde curve shows us that there could be a re-rating from the market once you go into production. That's obviously the big goal. Now, we talked about the best case scenario. Gordon, obviously, as an investor, I always want to know the worst case scenario, right? You said you're fully permitted. You said you're fully funded to go towards production. From my understanding, you have infrastructure in place. You can drive up, obviously, because you're building something. You can see the pictures. Everything is arriving. It looks like you're really developing something. But what could go wrong at the stage that we are at?
So before we say that, just a quick note on the accessibility. A couple of weeks ago, I landed in Montreal. They didn't have a truck available for me when I rented a vehicle, so I had to get a minivan. So I drove a minivan from Montreal in 2.5 hours directly up to the building.
Cool.
So accessibility is unbelievable on this site. But what can go wrong, right? Like there's always risks in this space. But where we're at right now, what we've positioned ourselves. So we've aimed to mitigate risks where we can. So Jurisdiction risk. We're operating in Quebec, unbelievable jurisdiction, right? The exploration risk. Well, rather than raising money, we're able to self-fund this. So when you have cash, you have options, right? And then it comes down to operational risk. So we are in a precarious times right now. We have our equipment ordered. There is always a risk of delivery delays, fabrication mistakes. We're doing our best to mitigate that. We've brought in trade brokers to be able to manage the shipping and the logistics side. We've sent our French-speaking engineer to China with a translator to make sure that the final fabrication of some big pieces of equipment are built exactly to spec as how we've designed in our flow sheet. We're taking all the precautions to make sure that we are as risk adverse as possible in a very risky space. So it's never no risk, but it's very important to identify the risk and to address it. And I believe that we've done that very well with where we are at this project. Like I said earlier, this is like running a marathon. We're really in the last mile here, and it's time for that gut check, final close your eyes and get across the finish line. And it's very exciting, but pressure's on right now. We can see the finish line, so it's making sure that everything that we set out for ourselves to protect our shareholders, to protect the company, to avoid those massive risks are put in place because we're very close.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to see you going towards the finish line, Gordon. I'm looking forward to see and hear the next updates. What's to expect for the shareholders for the, let's say, next quarter, maybe. So before you go into production, what's up? What kind of news flow can we expect?
We are planning a drill campaign that's going to be operating this summer. We're currently waiting on drill permits. Been waiting for a little while now, so we're ready to mobilize the moment those come in. That will be very exciting as there's some areas that we want to test. There's a historic resource along the surface crown pillar that we want to bring up to a compliant resource. We want to define that, and we're very excited about the mineralization we see on surface. There's also some anomalies to the north and to the south along this strike line that we found with geophysics that we want to test. There's a lot of very exciting exploration opportunities here and serious discovery potential. So by putting a few of our maiden drill campaign, our first ever drill campaign, we're able to build a larger program once we test some of these anomalies. So that is something that we're going to be expected to see throughout the summer is mobilization news, drilling news, updates on drilling, drill results coming into the fall. And that is something I'm very much looking forward to. Treasure hunting is arguably the most exciting part of this business. And then into the future, we're going to be able to fund that ourselves with doré production out of tailings. So again, more updates you'll see, more fabric, more installation news, more equipment arrivals, updates on the building, on the mill getting finalized, marching towards that inevitable first pour.
Perfect. Gordon, I wish you the best of luck. Looking forward to see all the updates and development. Thanks for your time and see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my friend. It's good to see you.